So in my mind, I've got second reading, I've got programme motion, I've got third reading. Run us through the timetable for this week.
Yeah, so as you say, it all kicks off at 7 p.m. tonight with that second reading. This is the first time MPs will be able to have a proper vote of the bill that implements Boris Johnson's Brexit plan. All the numbers suggest that we will see that pass, possibly just by a whisker, because remember, there are various reasons to vote for that. You don't have to support the bill to want second reading to go through. Then we get to the programme motion. This is very important. This is about the timing. This is about pushing it through at breakneck speed, because Boris Johnson, as you've no doubt tired of hearing, wants to get Brexit done by October the 31st, and he'll need that to get permission in order to push this bill through in just 3 days. This is a very long legal text, and there's a lot to scrutinise, remember, and if he passes through that, then we move on to committee stage straight away. This is when we could get amendments, and this is crucial. This is MPs' chance to change, essentially, the plan, to add their own flavour of Brexit to this, because remember, there's no consensus within Parliament on just what Brexit should look like. So it may be that we get a different form take precedent, but remember, from those indicative votes last year, there's still no real holistic view on what Brexit should look like, and MPs seem to be much better at telling us what they don't want rather than what they do.
So, Seb, it sounds like the bill could get blocked, it could get delayed, or it could end up looking very different with those amendments you've talked about. So which scenario out of all of those is most likely?
Yeah, so it'll probably pass second reading, as I say. The programme motion, this is when we could see the opposition start to frustrate things, because this is a very big legal text, 110 pages and 125 pages on top of that of explanatory notes, and they've just got 3 days to get through this. I don't know about you, Nero, but that would take me weeks, and then they have to make a call on this. They have to decide whether to implement this into law. So there are lots of MPs who are arguing, hey, we need more time to look at this, and voting down the programme motion is their opportunity to get that. But if we do get through and we're moving on, rattling through this bill, then we get to those amendments. And this is a chance for especially Labour MPs who are in leave seating votes, leave voting seats, I should say, who want to get some form of Brexit through to pass an amendment. We could see a confirmatory referendum, we could see a customs union, and then they can go back to their seats, to their constituencies and say, hey, look, I voted for Brexit, but it's not necessarily as hard as the one that Boris Johnson is advocating.
Seb, if we get to the end of this week and the bill isn't passed, and I know there's high expectations that it will be, but if it isn't, what happens then? Does Johnson call an election to try and get more support that way? What's the path forward there?
Well, an election is a very tricky prospect. Yeah, you're right. It would boost his numbers if he got that majority, because, of course, he squandered that when he booted those 21 MPs out of the party for voting against a possible no deal. But the Brexit party is still in play if Brexit is not delivered. They're advocating for a no-deal Brexit. They're likely to eat into the Tory vote. So Johnson's chances of majority there are hamstrung. So it does present its own challenges. Of course, if he does get that majority, then it's plain sailing. Then he has that support to get this through. But that is a very risky prospect when he hasn't delivered on what he said he would. He hasn't created this Brexit that he's promised by October the 31st.